Welcome back to the 1BC podcast, everyone. I'm Nate. We got KJ and Matt here. And things are looking a little bit different today because we had some technical difficulties, but I think it's going to look cute. So let us know in the comments what you think of the new layout for this episode. What are we talking about today, boyos?
So I thought we could start probably with the Riot dev update since that's the hot topic of today. And Riot has officially addressed their take on Hextech Chests. And basically they are doubling down that they are not going to bring them back. And I know a couple weeks ago I was adamantly on Riot's side about the whole Hextech Chest thing. And while I still understand and to some degree agree with Riot's decision from a business and monetization standpoint, I think they're still wrong to double down with the public outcry that their player base has. And regardless on how right they are, this probably isn't the hill that Riot wants to die on. And so it just doesn't matter. And so on some level, you just need to give people chests. I'm like, in my head, 2 chests every split, totaling into 12 chests a season, seems reasonable enough to get people to stop crying about it, while
think
also
even
not
one.
breaking their bank. I think you would have to give more than one, because then it's like, okay, we went from like 20 a year to one. Like, you have to be reasonable, right? On some degree to like get the yelling to stop, because they've already let it go on for too long. If they had switched over to one like in a quick patch, like the day after all the outcry started, maybe they could have gotten away with it. But it's gone on for too long for them to like not actually appease people in some meaningful way to get people off of their back about it. So yeah, that is my take on it now.
So I didn't watch the dev update, and I don't think Matt watched the dev update either. But they actually like address the chests. They're not just like, because they have been just ignoring the issue, but in the
Yeah, no,
update they actually like talked about it.
it's the first thing that they talk about, so like they're not avoiding it at all, but they were saying that like from a business standpoint we were giving away a bunch of skins, and then they ended up being skins that people weren't using. So basically the standpoint that I had about them just giving away not only free money but free money that people didn't necessarily want is exactly the reason that they stopped doing it. And they wanted to make more meaningful skins that actually had good value behind it, so that people would want to buy those skins individually, because most people, once they get a particular skin for a champion, they just stop getting new skins because they already have one for the one champion that they play.
Is that
So like basically the whole thing that I said is exactly their reasoning.
is that even true though? Like
Yeah.
like at one point I was an Ezreal main, so I have 1,000 Ezreal skins, and I was an Ashe main, so I have 1,000 Ashe skins. And like there's some champions like Mordekaiser I only have one skin for, but there's other champions I have a lot of skins for, and I know you're the same. I know you have 1,000 Anivia skins.
Yeah, but you can only use one of them in a game at a time. And how many times in between games, like if you play 3 games of Ezreal, how many times or how likely are you to play the same skin versus switching a skin every single game?
You're not wrong, but people still have multiple skins. Like, do
No,
you
no,
have
I
multiple?
know,
I
but
assume you have multiple skins too.
the point that I'm making though, and the point that I think they were trying to make, is that people are only going to use one. So if I keep giving you, if you already have an Ezreal skin that you like, and then I give you 6 more Ezreal skins, that is 6 skins worth of value that I gave to you for free that you're not going to use and you don't value in the same way that I do. Therefore, I'm losing money.
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely am an abuser of just like one skin per champion, pretty much, and that's it forever. But there were a couple where, like, I remember I got Arcade Ezreal for free, and I had what's the ultimate skin called?
Pulsefire.
Pulsefire. I had Pulsefire, and I played only that one, and I got the arcade and tried it one time in an ARAM, and I was like, okay, this is my new favorite one. Like hitbox wise, design wise, like pixel wise, everything was so much better for me. And now that's the only one I've used for the last like 3 years or something like that.
But so their solution was basically people have a lot of skins that they don't really value, so we're going to go to a few skins that people are still not really gonna care about. Like how many people actually play Elise and will use the free Elise skin?
The secondary part to that though is that they are investing more in high value skins, so that the ones that they do produce for the champions that you play, you are more likely to want to actually purchase with real money. So they are
Which
investing into things that are of value to you instead of giving you a bunch of stuff that is not of value to you.
I feel like this is just power creep in a TCG. Like
I was
we
thinking the same exact thing.
yeah,
Yes.
like we have a whole bunch of skins that are perfectly fine, and there's a lot of great skins for a lot of great champs. But now we're gonna start making really good skins, and they're gonna be part of a gotcha system that you're gonna pay a shitload of money for. But we promise you're gonna really want these ones. All the ones that you've spent hundreds of dollars on in the past, they're trash. Nobody cares about them. Buy the new gotcha skins because they're good. This is just power creep
Well,
in a TCG.
the
This is
other
Dark
reason that
Magician
they
is
gave,
trash. This is what this
the
is.
other reason that they gave is because League skins don't just fund League of Legends the game, they fund a lot of different League of Legends adjacent projects and
The
other Riot
entertainment
media. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, but
And
they still gotta be
so
valuable.
yes, but if they're giving us multi-million $100 projects for free, we can't also expect them to give us multi-million dollars worth of skins for free. I think we have to pick the thing that we're getting for free, and I would value an MMO or two and a show or two and a movie than like 10 skins a year.
I think you may be forgetting. Like you're not wrong. You're not wrong that those things are cool, but also those things should be profitable on their own. Like you can
Not
use
if they're
League of
going to be of the
Legends.
quality that they want it to be.
You can use League of Legends to get these projects off the ground, but you cannot justify the gotcha system of League to say, look at all these other things that we're giving you for free. Like, no. You still have to give me a solid game. Otherwise, I'm not buying your shit. I'm not
European
buying your
countries
skins.
European countries will have super high taxes in order to give you a bunch of necessary things for free that you will use all the time. To me, that is like the exact same. Let's tax high on this thing that everyone is going to. That's like our centralized nexus, working, living like the League of Legends with skins, and then we'll give you a bunch of free experiences that you also really enjoy that are a commodity, but you don't have to pay a premium for these things.
I feel like that's a very different situation. I could see
But-
that argument. I could see that argument if there was like that would be what you're arguing is similar to League saying you don't have to buy our games. Like League of Legends is still free, the MMO is still free. All these things are free, but you have to pay $15 a month for the Riot subscription, and then all of our games are free.
No. They're still
because
free
because
without the
that's like
subscription. You
no
just get
because
unlock premium content.
but what you're
For $15,
suggesting you're suggesting is we're paying taxes to have this other cool stuff. So that model is like, yo, we're going to give you all this really cool stuff. You just have to pay us one monthly fee. That's the model that you're suggesting.
They took away the additional amenities that come with admission. Admission is always going to be free to any Riot thing. However, if you want a premium subscription or any types of amenities while enjoying any of these things, then you will have to pay a premium. Otherwise, all of the attractions are still free for use and use to your heart's desire. But now there is a subscription pack that includes things that used to be free, and I think that is what people are most upset about. But I think if you like take away the thing that like, okay, we used to have this. If you take that aspect out of it, I think exactly what Riot has done makes a lot of sense. I don't necessarily agree with them now just because of the public outcry, like I said, but I do really understand why they would do something like this and their rationale behind it.
Yeah, it's a more consistent money flow when like they weren't getting anything from people like me and Nate. who just like didn't spend money on the game anymore. But I mean, the passes, I know so many people that got them. I know that those were like a huge thing where people got them every single month when they made it like a new pass.
Yeah.
They had some cool stuff in there.
Mm.
I think chests would have been cooler if like you were saying earlier, like you get 2 a split or something like that. You get people 6 Hextech chests the whole year, 5 even. I think people are still like totally fine with it. It's just like a free to play goal. If you're not caring about ranked or stuff like that, it's like, oh, I can still earn my skin. I think the other thing they should have done is the chests should have been nerfed to only include like, I forget what's the red regime. There's like epic, mythic,
Legendary?
legendary, like only beneath legendary skins. So you essentially get common skins that they will continue to make, but are like lower tier, just like
1350 or lower.
yeah, like character modification without necessarily like all of the, like the visual effects behind the character. Because some of those
Like, no
skins
new
are
base
honestly
models.
fun. Yes, yes, like the older ones where it's just like a skin without like all of the extra stuff. And they don't allow people to pull like ultimate, mythic skins, legendary, like any of those skins are just out of the chests. So it's still a fun little treat, but it has no to little value. It's just like a free skin, a Hextech ward, like some little cosmetic thing that doesn't really cost them that much. And like I said, just reduce the number. Like I think just giving people a few, even if you wean off next year and cut them off altogether, like give us a slower ramp out from this insane boost of free stuff, which was wrong.
I think
also go ahead, sorry.
I think it was just it's a nice mini game too. The pass is interesting, and like functionally the pass is doing the same thing, right? It's still trying to convince people to play the game so that they can get free stuff. Like it's functionally doing the same thing, but I feel like the chests were a bit of the chests and keys were a bit of a mini game, and like there were different things depending on what you did in game, you would get different things. Like if you played enough, you would get a bunch of keys, but if you played well, you would get the chests, right? Like that's kind of how it was. So there was a bit of a mini game going on there, and it was a reason for people to log in so that they could get that like mini game going. And I don't even have League installed on this computer. Like I haven't had any desire to load up the game, even though I want to try the new map and I want to play Mel and I want to do all these other things that are bringing players in. Like the just little nugget of it doesn't even matter. It doesn't have to be anything big, but just like participating in that mini game would get me to log in sometimes just to get that first one of the day, you know? And I know it's technically still there, it just doesn't feel like it is.
The other thing that I keep forgetting and I need to remind myself of is they changed how you obtain victorious skins this year, starting this year. And so it's not necessarily you have to win a certain amount of ranked games or be at a certain level. You just have to play a certain amount of ranked games in order to get your victorious skin.
Oh no.
And but understand that this is still feeding into that same Hextech chest conversation with different skins. And so now that Victoria skins are a participation trophy, you're not only getting just the past free skins, but you're also getting 6 higher tier or what they would value as higher tier skins with different champions every single year as well. So again, I understand that is no longer the game in which we were playing 14 years ago. However, the business model that it is currently turning into makes a lot of sense to monetize off of a fresh new player base. I'm struggling to think about this not just as a previous player, but like how does a new person view Riot coming into League of Legends after watching Arcane, knowing nothing about the company or its history?
So one thing, well, a couple things I want to say is, first of all, Nate, after like 12 years of hearing it from your teammates, your enemies, and your allies, glad you finally uninstalled the game. But KJ, I did want to say, they give 3 victorious skins a year. There's 1 per split. Like to me, that devalues those things so much more, and the
Isn't it
participation
6?
aspect. Huh? Is it 6?
I thought it was one per split, not one per season.
Oh, okay. Never mind. So 3.
If it's one per season, then it's only 3. If it's one per split, then it's 6. And I'm pretty sure it's one per split.
Wait, aren't there only 3 splits?
No, there's 2 splits per season, and there's 3 seasons in a year.
Okay, I think it's per
Yeah,
season.
you have the fearless thing, and then you have the summer, and then you have spring, and then you have summer.
Are you
That's why I
talking
keep
about?
track that you have.
Are you talking about pro or like?
No. In regular League of Legends, okay. They both
Wait,
follow
is it
the same
actually
schedule
doing
now.
fearless in
They
ranked?
both follow. No.
Oh wait, no,
But
I can't because it's a
how would you do that?
Dude, I don't know.
That
Come
would
on.
that would be
Bear with
really
me.
cool for promos though. Like you know how you have to do promos?
Yeah.
It would be really cool if
That'd actually
everyone
be
got a
sick.
promo series, like
Yeah,
an actual
like
series.
whatever champion you played in your last game for
You
promos
can't play
is
that
like
again. Yeah.
self-banned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be crazy good.
Or like you ban that champion in your series. So like you don't get a ban, but you ban your
It
own
just
champion.
auto bans that one.
Yeah. But
That's
I'm
gross. Let's go.
it's either 3 or 6 free Victoria skins that you get, plus a free skin every one free skin every split from the battle pass. So that's what 9 free skins. 3 of them being of like relatively high quality because they're victorious, all from just playing the game. And yes, they are for specific champions that they pick, and you can't you can't select which one it is, but that's still 9 out of 170 different champions. Plus, there likely are going to be some that you do want to purchase that feel like they're worth the value that you're getting for them. And if not, there's always next year when you can get a new 9.
The only response I'm gonna have to that, which I think me and Nate have both thrown at you the last time we were having this conversation before all this, is I get that they're giving me all this free stuff, but it's still mostly free trash, which is
I mean,
what I
that's what
was
they were
getting
giving every time
before.
before. Yeah.
But I
But
was
now they're
happy before.
It was
I was
They're
previous.
giving you
Previously, it was
They took
different.
that from me.
Previously, it was different. They would give you. So now you're getting whatever champion, a skin for whatever champion they decide to give you. But
Yes.
before, you would get 20 pieces of trash that you might find a diamond in, or you could scoop up your trash and then try to. So like, there were ways of trying to get to stuff that you liked, and now there's no way of getting to what you like. Now you just have to accept whatever they're offering you.
But that was the case before. You just also potentially had the like if it. So their point is they were always giving you trash that you didn't want, or what? Okay, to them it's not trash. That I think that's the first point that I want to make, because to them the skin value is still the value that they attribute to it with RP. And so yes, they are giving it away for free. And yes, to the consumer, it appears as trash because they don't value that skin at the same level that Riot did, or else they would have purchased it. But now they're giving away something that is more tailored so that they have quality control over what they're giving. And they're also wanting to increase the quality of the stuff that they're giving so that it's not always trash. People are more excited about the free stuff that they're getting, but then they're also still not giving you free trash because that sounds awful. You're excited about the company giving you trash in both instances, and neither one of them is good for the company because they're still giving you trash. So why not stop giving everyone trash, then upgrade the stuff that they're giving for free,
Okay.
and hopefully that people will enjoy the good stuff that they're getting because it's not trash. But then if they also want some premium content, they can pay a little bit more for that. But if they want the stuff that they're still getting for free to play the free play game, while also enjoying other multi-million-dollar companies that are projects that are not giving anything back from that, they can still do that again for free.
So, two things. First, it is per season, not split. So it's 3 victorious champions.
Okay. So 9 free champions a year, or 9 free skins a year, I should say.
Wait, why? What's the other 6?
The battle pass, 1 per split.
That's right. And 2, you're a Samsung guy.
Yeah.
So if Samsung says, yo, we're going to start charging an extra $200 per phone just because there's something really cool we're cooking up in the background, would you be like, yeah, I'm a big Samsung guy. I buy the Samsung phone every year. I'm going to give Samsung a little bit extra money because they're promising that they're going to give me something cool in the future. But I don't know what the cool thing is.
That's not the same thing because they're not charging every single person. That would
They're
to
not.
fix your scenario. In my opinion, to fix your scenario to match the Riot scenario, it would be if Samsung offered me to opt in to either beta features or premium features that not everyone had access to unless they paid this additional subscription for. And then if I did, then I would have access to these amenities as well as my normal service that everyone else also gets, because that is what Riot is doing.
The
So I disagree
general.
with the premise of your like initial Samsung
I mean, you don't
statement.
have to buy a new phone every year. You can keep the old phone if you don't want to opt into this extra charge that they're doing. But
Yeah, but you said, do I want to pay for this extra, or do I want to pay for this service? Like just because.
the greater point here is, do you think that consumers should be paying for promises instead of for product? That's the general point here.
I think it's both, and that's what Riot is saying. Because in the original case, before they changed anything about Hextech Chests, people were still not paying. So I think that premise is out, saying that they're paying for something that is a promise. They're taking away the thing that people were not paying for, and giving you better things, or in their opinion, better things to pay for, while still offering you all of the same things that they did for free, minus the premium content, or as much premium content, I should say, because they're still offering free skins, just not in the trash, in the trash gulag that people had become accustomed to. There's like
if Riot feels like they weren't getting enough money, the answer is not, let's try to scam people into more money. The answer is, make a better product that people will pay for. That's the answer. So what
they did say that they were doing both, though.
No. They are making better skins, they said, but they are also attaching it to a gacha system. So the skins are better, but they are also more expensive.
I think their legendary skins have also gotten higher tier as well, and not all of their good skins going forward are going to be attached to this gacha machine. In my opinion, the Jinx and Set skins are some of their weaker skins that have come out in the last 12 months. But I think like the Debonair Swain or whatever, the Chosen of the Wolf Swain, I think that skin is really sick. Or the Prestige edition at least. And all of the animations I absolutely love with. I already had Hextech Swain, and I stopped using that one for this new one. So like, not all of their skins that are good are attached to gacha. I think there are other tiers of skins that also are of value that people will want to purchase. But also, so like that is them leveling up the baseline level of purchasable skins that is not attached to a gacha system. And then also not giving people what they themselves consider not great skins in the hopes of maybe finding a diamond is also a smart business model. If you're giving away trash, stop giving away trash.
There's two different things happening here, clearly. Like, for one, they are increasing the quality of skins and also increasing the amount of money that they are making. Like, they're not making this change because they think it's a good idea. They're making this change because they think it'll make more money. Like, can we at least agree on that?
No, they actually admitted that. They said it was for revenue. Yes.
Yeah, that's the whole reason that they're doing this. So
League was sustainable at one point with their revenue stream with skins, and now it is no longer.
No, it's definitely still sustainable with the same old model.
Because if you're talking about specifically just sustaining the game League of Legends,
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
They are not, though. They are specifically saying that League of Legends income does not just pay for League of Legends outflow. It pays for League of Legends enterprises and their entertainment.
That's called a company.
Yes, I understand that, but if they're
when you
if
buy
they're
a skin, it's also paying for the secretary at Riot Games. Like,
yes, but if they're increasing the budget for their entertainment arm, they need to make revenue to fund that in some way. And if the entertainment arm is not a profitable arm, then they have to make money through the thing that is profitable, which is League of Legends skins.
Almost like
so
they could have just dropped MMO by now and then taken all of our wallets. We would have given them willingly,
You mean the one that seems to be coming out at the end of this year?
allegedly.
Allegedly?
it didn't say necessarily that it was releasing. It said like a dev availability.
Yeah.
So
It would be
that's not.
announcements and like gamma testing.
I'm pretty sure that I said that there would be announcements at the end of this year and that we would have it by the end of 2026.
It's just taking so long at this point. Like, when is it actually going to happen? You know.
Fair.
So
think
what we're
they're
talking
trying to ride the
about
hype train.
here is Necrit put out a video summarizing it, but there was, I can't remember who it was that had tweeted, but it was somebody in like Singapore or something that had
It
tweeted
was some
out
guy who used to work
Portugal?
on Diablo, right? Or are you talking about the leaker itself?
the leaker.
Oh yeah. I think it's Singapore.
The leaker basically said like we're getting a new Summoner's Rift map and a new launcher for League in 26. We're also getting a new Wild Rift map in 26. And also there's going to be like a dev release of the MMO in October of this year. So that's what we're referencing, and it was made the attention was brought to it from a Necrit video is what we actually watched. KJ seems to be looking something up here.
Yeah, I was looking at
Flashbang, yes.
the next thing I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry, I got excited.
Which is swapping a scrims, or where are you going?
Yeah. Scrims.
Okay.
It's been the other hot topic of this week. So people have been talking a lot about streaming scrims, and Whippo had an interesting take on LTA North's broadcast. Sorry for the flashbang. But he was talking in an interview with Jat about how no any team wanted to scrim them, and how they are the team to beat, and that if you want to get better, then you should be learning from the best people. So I started writing out some thoughts, and it was gonna just be like a quick thing, and then it turned into like a fairly larger project. So my take on this starts with the gap is closing, which has been memed to death. But I think there has been historically two different gaps. And before like 2015, 2016, it was definitely a micro issue with the West versus the East. And we just didn't have the hands to actually like lane or play against most of the Asian teams. 2017 forward, I think that started to close a lot with Fnatic, G2, and Cloud9. And we actually were able to have the hands to play in lane and actually out lane and 1v1 even some of these great Eastern players. And macro had been like the biggest hurdle that we've been trying to breach since then. So because the Eastern teams are playing so many more games, they have a lot of different ways to iterate on different drafts, and that type of innovation also stunts the West from the East. Why scrimming would help that though is all of these top teams have, I think, enough macro to be able to play against like the top 4 to 2 teams from the East. Like our top 1 or 2 North America or European teams could go head to head against number 2 to 4 in China or Korea and actually give us a decent best of 5. I'm convinced, like 100%. But we need to disseminate that information to everyone else because the Eastern teams play way more games. And so I think by streaming scrims, you're not only showing the enemy teams your picks. I think that's the surface level like bullshit that tells you that a coach doesn't really know what they're doing. If they're not watching the comms between top lane and jungle or top lane and bot lane for lane swaps, then they're not learning anything about how to actually implement that that knowledge into their own game, or not just knowing what the initial plan is, but what the contingency plans are and what every backup plan iteration is if X, Y, or Z does not go right. Those are things that coaches should be learning to implement into their own teams. I'm convinced that if DSG knew FlyQuest draft the day before a game day and had a full 24 hours to prepare, they would still not be able to pull off a cohesive level 1 or win the series at all, because they don't have an actual game plan or know how to play through adversity, because they've never seen it happen. And I think the only way that we can actually get North America's baseline to rise is to get this information disseminated to everybody. And then once everyone has a better baseline, then we can actually start having individual pocket picks for individual players. And then those expressions can come out and the region gets a lot better, because we're not even playing the same game in top 4 versus the bottom 4 in NA.
So basically, the suggestion is that NA teams are going to start streaming their scrims, and then you're suggesting that that information that is gained from the scrims will be beneficial to the worse NA teams, as well as probably the solo queue players that are climbing up the ranks to become pro someday. That's
Exactly
what you're suggesting, basically.
And then, like, because when the West plays the East and we are not a better macro team, it doesn't matter what the draft is, we will just lose. And it happens a lot. And we've seen this over and over again, especially with North America. So all of these coaches saying, oh, if they know our draft prep, then we're just going to lose. Well, if you're actually coaching your team correctly and your team has the right mentality, it shouldn't matter how draft gapped the game is if you're really that much better than the enemy team. If you know how to actually pick apart different opportunities that you can have in the game, it should not matter what the draft is. You should just be able to beat them, especially if they are that much lower than you. And most of the time, people are going to pick the same things anyway. Like, I could probably predict the first three games for draft for NA for any game, any team. It's always the same. And so does it really matter if people know what your draft priorities are if you're picking the same comps relatively anyway, or how you're playing out the map and how you're actually approaching objectives?
You could still do it just like how we've always done, though, is like you scrim certain teams in order to not leak strats when you're headed towards certain matchups during the schedule. Like, you don't have to stream all of them. Just some
no,
of them helps
I'm not
a
saying
lot.
all of them. I'm like maybe
and then,
one or
like,
two a week, 1 or 2 blocks a week.
That's exactly what I was
That's
thinking.
all
And
I'm
then you
saying.
use your other blocks to be like, all right, guys, Spire needs to practice his fiddlesticks jungle. We're not going to
Sure.
stream this one, yeah?
Yep.
And then, like, that's how you still get your work in and have your, like, hidden picks, because they're not in the streamed ones.
Yeah.
But
Like,
I 100% agree with, like, Immortals desperately needed to watch, like, FlyQuest, Cloud9. Like, how do we actually play the game? They needed those kind of videos so bad.
watching so much LR, like scrims and K-Drill's thought process behind coaching, has made me like judge the amount of work and or the type of effort that coaches are putting in. I don't want to say that they're not putting in the work, but I think the type of work that they're putting in may not be as beneficial to the team as it could be. And some optimization of what information am I trying to get my team to actually do? Do I want them to just like mimic verbatim what the Eastern teams are doing and play out these plays exactly the same way? Or do I want them to have the same type of mentality thinking about the game, that in case any contingencies like arise, they can think on the fly to what to do in that situation, because they understand the situation, not just, oh, 2 + 2 = 4, because that's what they told me over and over again.
Yeah. Did you watch the C9 FlyQuest scrims this last week? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really nice to watch, like, Inspired's point of view.
That's
see,
exactly
like,
what I was watching. It was very informative.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
they are streaming them now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mark Z tweeted out that he was changing the LTA rules officially to say that we could stream scrims. And then FlyQuest and Cloud9 streamed 1 block of scrims sometime this week. I have some other points about like the actual FlyQuest Genji matchup because like Genji knew what FlyQuest wanted to play. They banned out Ivern and Renekton every single game of that series, and then FlyQuest was still able to get Nunu and Amumu to work, not just because like they were surprise picks, but also they had the macro behind them. And I think that's the thing that FlyQuest scrims or just watching high level scrims in general will help lower teams with is understanding how to unlock the potential of your players and allow them to play the champions that they are comfortable with within the framework of the game that your team is orchestrating, and how to actually view the map from that perspective so that you can work together with your player's own playstyle and not try to brute force them into a certain type of playstyle that you think that you want.
Dude, I just can't. I still can't believe that like none of the Koreans knew what Nunu E did. Like none of
That's
them.
wild to me. Yeah.
That was so crazy to watch. Like they're just like trying to run from a Nunu that's snowballing him, and then oh, let me activate my teleport. Wait,
Yeah.
why did he root me? Nunu doesn't do that.
Like that could be us. That could be us winning worlds in 2 years. If more teams, like I think it started in, was it
Who's-
2018, 2019 when Yamato Cannon gave that like big speech for Europe just like needing to play their own game and stop trying to like play exactly what the Eastern teams are playing. And
Yeah.
that's when we started actually going farther than we ever have as the West. It's literally the same argument.
Who was Tien? Tien, the LPL player?
Mm-hmm.
When he won Worlds, do you remember his like famous Lee Sin quote?
No.
He was asked about Lee Sin because that's one of the champions he played in the
Yeah,
finals.
yeah, yeah.
He didn't know that Lee Sin Q had execute damage.
What? That's wild.
He didn't know that was a thing.
Oh no.
I know that's a thing.
He didn't know the second part of his Q had execute damage on it.
That's
Like,
Doesn't
wild.
everyone know that? That's why he's such a good like Baron stealer. How do you?
World champions
like-
don't need to know that.
yeah, or you just like Q, beat the shit out of them, and then Q again for max damage. Like, yeah, man. That's how we get them. We gotta get these champions that nobody knows what they do. That's why Bwippo's Urgot is so good.
I'm convinced that's why Reckless is so good at Janna.
When you're the
No,
best at
mhm.
a certain thing, it doesn't really matter what it is. You kind of end up getting like super focused. Okay, for example, from a different industry, there's a YouTube channel called Drumeo. I don't know if you know about this, but it's basically a they have like drum tutorials and they have like big drummers come on. One of their really cool bits is they have big name drummers come on and they play them a song that doesn't have the drum track.
Oh, and they have them fill it in.
And they have them figure out a drum track for it and then they play it back later. And they always do songs that they don't know, so they're just like guessing at it.
Is
And-
that the one where Chad Smith had that one that blew up?
Yes.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it is.
God. It was the kill, right? 30 Seconds Mars?
I
That's
can't
so-
remember.
So amazing.
I've
I think
watched so
that's the
many.
song.
Dude,
And
I
he, like-
freaking love those videos.
Perfectly nailed it. Everybody was just like stunned and freaking out. They're like, dude, what the fuck's happening right now? This
So-
is beautiful. He's like breaking sticks while he's playing too. Like he's going
I
hard.
can't remember who the drummer was. It might have actually been Chad Smith again, but I'm not going to be able to find it.
And
But they
Chad
had
Smith
a
is
drummer
insane.
they had a drummer on and they played Shake It Off, which everybody knows that song. It
Yeah.
is one of the most popular songs from the biggest artist in the world, Taylor Swift. And he had no idea what it was. He had never heard a Taylor Swift song before, and this guy is a professional in the music industry, but has no idea what a Taylor Swift song sounds like. So, like, you can be top class in, like, any aspect of your life and be completely blind to something that's, like, still in the same industry. So,
Yeah.
like, it doesn't surprise me that, like, Korean and Chinese players are experts at the top meta picks, but then have no idea what's happening with the other 100 champions in the game. Like, that's not surprising at all to me.
Mm. So I think I heard this on Last Free Nations podcast sometime this week, but I'm not entirely sure if that's accurate. Um, what is your guys' idea on, instead of having a fearless draft, or maybe in addition to that, during certain seasons, like only a certain group of champions are allowed to be played? Kind of like in TFT,
Yep.
how you have like a certain set of champions
Yes.
and there's like a theme around them. Those are the only champions that are available to be played in league for that rank season, or at least
Yes.
that split.
Yes.
That-
That's it. Just yes. That
Yeah.
I've been wanting that for such a long time, and I feel like that would like revive the relevance of so many champions by like putting the weird ones with zero play rate at the bottom, and people actually find like OG comps that work with that specific champion.
I feel like balance would get a lot easier too, because you're only balancing like
Those
60 to
champions.
75 champions at a
Yes.
time.
You know what else it would fix? If you made it not just ranked. So the big problem would be people can't play their favorite champs. You know, like that's obviously the biggest issue with this, but as long as it's rotating every now and then, it should be fine. Like if it's every split, then it's 6 different rotations. It should be fine. But what it would also solve to some degree is Riot said that they cannot unlock every champion to a new player because there are too many options and it would overwhelm the players. If you just disable the majority of the champions, it solves that problem, and now you can have every champion. You can have that rotation of champion unlocked for new players. So there's only like 25, 30 champions that they can choose between, you know?
Also, I just had another like super great idea. Why not just unlock, like, once you hit mastery level like 10 on a champion, you just unlock a 1350 skin for that champion?
We've been talking about that forever.
Like, why?
That's
why not?
when they first
Dude, that's a decent amount of work,
introduced
too.
champion mastery. We were saying that should be a thing, but they're never gonna make that a thing. Even
Like-
just a chroma, like we were asking for
Dude,
literally
a skin
anything.
shard. Don't even give me like the full thing. Just give me the skin shard for it, and then make
Oh, a
me
skin
like earn
shard
the
for that
orange
champion?
essence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you could take out, like, you could take away all the chests that you want to, because at least if I play my favorite champion long enough, I will get a skin for my favorite champion.
Oh,
Yeah.
we bringing it back around? Are we saying you can keep the Hextech? We don't need no Hextech chests. Keep them away. Just when I get to Mastery 10 on a champ, give me a skin for that champ, and I'll be happy.
I mean, that would bring
if
back
I'm
the
no longer-
correlation, dude.
It's no longer giving people trash. It's giving them something that they've invested in. They've already said, this is valuable to me. Okay, that's valuable to you. Now it's a barter system. You've told me what is valuable to you. Now I'm going to give you something of value for that thing. It is very specific.
They have also
And if they only did
devalued
like once
mastery
per year,
by doing the same thing.
if they do it only once
Mastery-
per year, sorry.
Mastery has like pretty much no value anymore, where it's
pointless.
just like an infinitely scaling number
Yeah.
Yes.
that now has no reward behind it, and it's
Well,
like
and
oh,
leveling
okay.
has no purpose anymore either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If they only let you do one champion per year, I think that also gates it to not have them giving away a bunch of free skins. And new players are more incentivized to play one or two champions over and over again, instead of learning 30 different new champions to get a bunch of chests. Now they focus in main one champion, get a skin for that one champion. And then if next year they want to try something new, well, then they have a new champion that they can get a new skin for. Or maybe you could do it once per season. If we're gonna have a rotating number of champions in every season, then I can see them giving away one skin per person per season, based on the champion that you like play the most. And it's just a skin shard for that champion. So you can either pay the orange essence to unlock that skin directly, or you can wait until the end, and then you'll have 3 skin shards over the entire year, and you can re-roll it for something else.
Man, I just can't get out of my head. I just don't value obviously I'm not playing the game enough anyways, but I don't value Victoria skins anymore with getting so many a year and the fact that you said they're participation trophies. Like those things have negative value. Like I don't even want those in my account. If I
Okay.
played enough, I would like send in a ticket and be like, please
Well,
withdraw this ass participation trophy. I don't want it.
Other than the name of it having a Victorious skin, what is the difference between a Victorious skin and a skin that you got from a Hextech chest?
The Victoria
There-
skin is a badge of your like grinding for a certain rank within the game per
Okay,
year.
so one is based on you getting to a certain
Merit.
rank. The other one is based on how much time that you put in.
Yeah.
They are both metrics of you playing,
Yeah.
and they are both deemed at low value to you. You're upset about
previous
one.
no
You're
the
upset.
previous versions of Victoria's skin I had so much value in and so much respect for. And then additionally they had that other one where it was like you get the skin and the chroma for doing like solo queue and duo queue versus flex, I think.
Yeah.
So like that was also awesome. Like that was two badges where it was just like, holy shit, that person got at least gold. Or they got gold and then they got gold again in a different queue. Like that's awesome. Now it's just like, oh, yeah,
Yo,
my
shout
friend
outs to my
Dylan,
white grave skin.
my friend Dylan has played 1,000 games this last split, and he's still, silver 3, but he got the Victoria skin, I
But
guess.
do you think the value of the Victorious skin is that much higher than any other skin tier? Like, do you
I
think
think it used to
it's
be.
legendary
I think it used
level?
to be.
Do you think
I
the
think
animations and value of like not the prestige that comes behind earning the Victorious skin, the
yes.
actual Victorious skin in client itself? Do you think that is valued at more than or more than a legendary skin?
More. For
Really?
me, I'm speaking personally. For me, I use every champion I have a Victoria skin on. I use it for that. Even though there are other skins that I like to play with
I
more,
don't.
I always use that. My
I usually
Aatrox
use
dude,
Pizza
I have
Siver
the
instead of
I have the
Victoria Siver.
Sea Hunter Aatrox. I have Sea Hunter Aatrox, which is like the most deep sea warrior skin. It is my favorite one that I actually bought way back when, and I still use Victorious like 95% of the time.
The other difference is ARAM players don't get those skins. That's the other difference. Like
Yes.
you're saying that it should be it's basically replacing the Hextech Chests, but you could get Hextech Chests if you only played ARAMs. You can't get the Victorious if you do.
Which was us.
I mean, yes, but you still can get other free skins through just playing ARAMs.
You know what it also does is it makes it harder to climb because you have a bunch of people that are usually ARAM Andes that are like, well, I want to get a skin, so guess I'll just lose a couple ranked games. Well, you have to actually win, but still.
Isn't that's no different than the end of every ranked season ever when someone wants to get to gold to get their Victorious skin also.
You're not, but you don't have to get
I'm
to
not
gold
saying-
anymore. This is
Yeah.
people in bronze now that are just like, I just need to grind out some games. I'm
So they're gonna
not
fill
I'm
their
not
15 and
really
then they'll be
worried
done.
about leveling up as long as I play like trash. I can lose 50 games as long as I get my 15.
You don't have to win 15. Is it win 15 or play 15?
You have to
I'm pretty
win.
sure-
You have to win.
It says win.
I
Yeah, I
just
saw
looked
win
it up.
as well.
Okay.
But yeah, like I also
I don't
used
know.
to play. I literally used to play ranked until I got gold 4, and I used to put in the work. And I used to be proud where I was like in May, I was like, I got gold 4. I don't have to touch ranked the rest of the year.
Mhm.
And like that was my little goal that I had, and I consistently was able to grind out and do it. Sometimes didn't get it until like August or June, but like that whole time I was playing for that prestige, and now that prestige just feels like it's like gone, especially with this.
Yes, I'm not saying that things are the same as they used to be. What I am saying is they are replacing it with something that is not necessarily for the veterans of the game. It is for newer players of the game to enjoy the thing in parts of the systems that we've already grown accustomed to.
You know what if I cared to play League nowadays, I would probably actually get to plat with the new system. Because the old system, I would get to gold, I'd get my skin, and I'd be happy. There was actually one year I got to gold. I didn't want to risk gold, so I made a Smurf, leveled it to 30, and then got gold on that Smurf too. So instead of ranking up and getting to plat or diamond, I was like, I got my skin, and I'm done with this account until next year. So not having it tied to being a certain rank does probably encourage people to rank up instead of just getting complacent with where they are.
Or now you just get 15 wins and then people walk away because they have their skin.
That's almost no different than the situation that it was before with people getting to gold 4, but now there is a chance that people continue playing. So
Dude,
it's either the same or slightly better.
No. Strongly disagree.
I'd be surprised if people walked
I literally
away.
just told you that I used to grind from like February to August to get gold.
Okay.
I would play that whole time, several days a week, several times a day, and play for that extended period of time. Now, 15 wins, I could do that in like 2 weeks at most, and then I would be done.
Yeah, but if you
you're not the
actually
average
care about
player,
playing ranked, you're not going to stop at 15 wins.
and you're
But
not
that's
the
the
average
thing.
player base.
The average player base, I don't think, plays that much.
We
I think
agree.
most people that aren't
Yeah.
jaded old people actually play ranked in League. I think most people are actually playing ranked games. Us jaded geezers are playing ARAMs. I think most people
But I mean,
are playing ranked.
how many jaded geezers are there? Because it's like the Q time pops for ARAM are insane compared to any other mode in
Yeah,
the
but
game.
there's less matchmaking too. If they let all ranked players play together, the queue times would be instant too.
I guess I meant even just for like normal games, like draft, whatever. Like even those have like way
I
longer
queued with
queue time.
somebody that was level 2 yesterday.
Yeah, but how long was your queue time?
It was instant.
Oh,
And this person, it was literally their second game ever.
But
so you
yeah, I
just
think
clowned on him.
ranked queue times, if bronze could play with diamond, ranked queue times would be very low too.
Mm-hmm. They're bringing Arena back also, which I'm pretty hyped about. I think it might be like their best game mode that they've come out with.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
I did enjoy
like
Arena the
Nessus
first 2
Bliss more
times.
personally.
The map that everyone had an issue with, the Koi Pond one, they added a ring around the outside of it, so you don't just get stuck on an island and then immediately die to the environment.
Nice.
And then everything apparently is Noxus themed in like a Noxcrane arena feel.
I don't know, man. I kind of want to play League again, but I also just don't care anymore.
Yeah, I
I'm
keep
done.
like my muscle memory was to sit down at my computer and open League, and like I still open the folder sometimes to pull up League, and I'm just like, wait, why? No, there's like a dozen other things I'd rather do right now.
I went back to Marvel Rivals after like a week off. I wanted to see if it was just like hype or if I actually really enjoyed the game. And I think I do because I came back and then I played like 5 or 6 games today.
Nice.
Even losses don't feel that bad. Like they're kind of annoying, but like I understand why I lost. It's not like I'm just frustrated type of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. And the amount of like LP equivalent that you get from losses is a lot less than what you get from wins, at least where I'm at right now. So it feels more forgiving, and your individual score matters more to your LP gain / loss than your team's overall score.
You don't got the plus 12 minus 30 situation.
No, it's more like the opposite. Like I get minus 19 to 22, but I'm getting like plus 35 to 50, depending on how well you do.
Dude, I swear I was always getting like minus 30s and plus 12s
In League.
In this game?
in League of Legends. Yeah,
Oh.
not in Rivals. in League.
Yeah, I forget who it was. I think it was Dylan because you played so much. He was just like, yeah, I'm getting like +7, like -60 right now.
Well, it's also
Jesus
like
Christ.
the one season where I leveled one guy, like I got to 30 and then leveled a Smurf and then got to 30 again. It's like it was so much easier to grind this one to gold than it was to my geezer account that's like locked to the elo that it's been in.
Yeah. It's kind of pissed off when I was like, oh, you could start at bronze 2. Like, I've gotten gold like 4 times in a row the last 4 years. Please just put me in like silver 3. Please. It's so annoying.
I've been thinking about actually playing ranked again. I've just been like in a very competitive mood recently and feeling like I want to play competitive video games more in almost any capacity that I can.
I'm also enjoying not having Vanguard on this computer. That's the other reason I don't want to download League.
You don't want that Chinese spyware?
Yeah. Well, I'm okay with Chinese spyware, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we got a TikTok every day, you know.
I downloaded DeepSeek, so like I'm okay with Chinese spyware, but
He went all in.
Right.
all right, boyos. Should we call it here? Sounds like we're ready to rock and roll.
Sure.
I think that's been a pod.
You think it's been a pod?
I think so.
We try to do the Disney movie one next week.
We're gonna be
Yeah,
talking
we'll
Disney
get to it at
movies
some
next
point.
week, and Matt's gonna fix
Mhm.
his mic because it got weird at the end. So it'll be good by next week. Yo, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and share and spread the word for the sick new podcast. And we'll see you guys next week for Disney movie marathon.
Hell yeah.
Peace.